Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Nate, uh, host of the Artist Exchange podcast, as well as now founder of the Artist Exchange Media Hub. I'm just on live just for a brief moment, just to go over some things that I went through this weekend and to just talk about some stuff that's coming up. One thing that I went to this weekend was, can I see it? Can I see it? I went to the library and they have a monthly reader series for individuals who wrote a book. And this month they had little Jeezy, J. Jenkins, Young Jeezy, as they call him in the rap world. He did his book talk there, and I've started reading the book. And it's an interesting read, and it tells his story, his kind of journey um, through childhood up into now, a lot of the issues that he went through, a lot of the situations he's found himself in as a rapper, as a young man, and now turning into this businessman that, and finding out he always wanted to be a businessman and not necessarily a rapper. And it was an interesting turnout. Um, I've come to a couple, but this one felt like it started a little bit later. So people started lining up. I was outside, and it looks like people starting to line up around 2. Doors didn't open up until a little after 3, and we didn't get started until 4:30. So it was a lot of waiting around, and it was a very short reading. They had a VIP reception as well. And that was pretty interesting. But overall, the book is so far really interesting. It's always interesting to learn about people behind their personas. So if you get a chance, go to the library and check out this book. But everybody who attended got a free copy of the book. But it was an interesting read. Adversity for Sale, pretty interesting. But I hope the process of picking um, people doesn't equate to people having to wait that long. But other than that, it was a good day. One of the things that I wanted to get on here and talk about was an upcoming project that I'm working on with Troy Burton. If y'all can see this, and I'll actually try to put the photo up so y'all can see it a little bit better, but it's called Soulmates. And I'll actually play the clip for you all so you all can see it. Is this it? This is it. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Nate Couser, owner of the Artist Exchange Media Hub, as well as Vashti Blue Jewelry Studio, sponsoring a night out at the theater with Soulmates, written, directed, and conceived by Troy Burton, as well as musical direction by Mr. Tevin Brown himself. Come on out and celebrate with us. Tickets are now on sale. It's my 41st birthday, and I want to celebrate it with you. Hit me up for tickets. See you there. So what's going on? That was the commercial that I created, a little commercial that I made, specifically for Soulmates, the 24th on May 24th, that show. The show opens up May the 10th and it runs through May 27th, Sunday, May 27th. It is a great performance. We've just got in 2 rehearsals. We have a great cast of phenomenal singers. 2 corrections. One, this story is being told from the perspective of Ashford and Simpson's music, both the music that they wrote for themselves, as well as many of the great hits that they wrote for some fabulous artists from many different genres. So That's the one correction because I think when I was talking about it the other day, I kind of misspoke. So it's from the perspective of their music, the story that their music tells through the many decades that they were songwriting, coupled, duet, as well as their career, and the history of their music, like where we were in history. It will be matched with some phenomenal monologues and stories created by Troy Burton with a couple inserts from Mama Jackie Terry. So I want you to come on out and see the show. Like I said, the show opens up May 10th through May 27th. So you'll be able to see that. Um, for May 24th, the Artist Exchange and Backstop Blue Jewelry are sponsoring that night. Actually, and I just realized that night may be sold out, but I still have tickets in terms of actual tickets that you can purchase. But another organization has booked out the rest of the that night. So I believe you can't get tickets on the website for that night. I want you to come out to May 24th to celebrate with me. That is actually my 41st birthday, and I thought it would be a great idea to see some theater or do something creative other than, going out and partying. But I wanted to party with my theater people. So I'm asking you all to come on out. So if you want a ticket, a number of tickets have already been sold. So a number of these tickets are already accounted for, but we do have some tickets still available for that night. But if you can't make it into town, I understand. You still have May 10th through May 27th, and that's 3 weeks that the show will be up. So I'm really excited about that. And, you know, turning 40, 41, I'm sorry. I'm still a year behind, uh, 41. So that's my big celebration that I'm talking about. So I went to on this Saturday. I think Saturday, the Sunday was kind of different. It was real mellow. I started with not a fundraiser, but a workshop with Baltimore Fashion Week. We held and if you don't know, I'm on a board of Baltimore Fashion Week, and we did a great presentation, a workshop on funding for the arts. And I'll be doing a number of other workshops with Baltimore Fashion Week surrounding entrepreneurship, being an artist, the business of it, some valuable things that we'll be doing in celebration of just being entrepreneur, and artists is included in that. So artists and entrepreneurs alike. And it was phenomenal. I met a nice group of people who came out to that workshop, and we talked a lot about creative ways of funding your art. Because often as artists, we do a lot of stuff where everything that we make goes back into supplies and rentals and promotion and marketing and just the art itself. So I want people to find more creative ways, more cost-effective ways to be able to support your arts. And they're not just grants, but crowdfunding solutions, also different sponsorship levels, and that's actually another upcoming workshop that Baltimore Fashion Week will be hosting as well. In addition to me working with Baltimore Fashion Week with a number of upcoming workshops, I also have been partnered with the Black Arts District, the Pennsylvania Avenue Arts and Entertainment District, known as the Black Arts District. For the last 2 years, I've been partnered with them, and part of this was me seeing a need for that level of support in and around um, entrepreneurship. There was a lot of businesses that started um, during the pandemic, and I really thought um, it was important that one, a lot of those businesses understand where they were falling short. As a business owner myself, and I started a business during the pandemic, I opened up an art studio, and it was very hard. Um, it was very hard because sometimes you have all of the things that you need, but you're missing valuable tools. Some of those tools you've gotten them through other people's dreams when you were working in other 9 to 5s, but we don't always think to bring those things into our own businesses. And I get it, I understand it, but this understanding that we actually need um, to strengthen those things and really do the homework that is necessary to improve on getting it done. Meaning, like for example, customer service. Many businesses struggle, and I've seen a lot of businesses have to close because of the quality of their customer service. And a lot of businesses have been struggling through that, hiring the right people. You being the owner, often your employees are good at it. It's often the ownership that is horrible with their customer service. And it's not just about complaining specifically about Black businesses, but it's things that, especially as Black businesses, we need to get better at. Pricing, setting hours, work hours, work workflow, balancing out home life. Also, figuring out how to best serve our customers, meaning what are we selling? Sometimes, especially I'm going to speak about restaurants. A lot of restaurants I know they try to open up and serve all of these different things, and that is not cost effective. One, nor is it smart because until you really have that type of clientele that is coming there on a daily basis, you can't really sell all of those things. If you stick to um, a niche product menu, and stick to that and hone that and make that perfect, you can then over time expand to that. Um, One business that I know has gotten that great is the Urban Oyster, the young lady who started the Urban Oyster. I worked with her for a brief moment, doing a number of working with her, helping her with her festivals, and she had a really concise list of things that she served, and it did not go over that. And she would every now and again throw in a specialty item, or drinks or sides, but it wasn't such an extensive menu that it wasn't obtainable, or it could not be duplicated if she wasn't there or if she didn't have enough support. Um, so she is one person who I see have gotten it right in terms of the food industry. Another person is the empanada lady, and I'm speaking. If you're watching this outside of Baltimore, I'm speaking about the industry here in Baltimore City in Maryland. Um, the empanada lady, she has done a great job of expanding her business and growing her business. She started out, I believe, doing various catering and vending events, and she eventually landed at the Motor House. And she then took the time to save and market and promote, and now she has her own restaurant in the downtown area, a brick and mortar. As a visual artist, a lot of my money goes into supplies and paying for vending events until I open up another art space. Like I said, during the pandemic, I opened up a space, actually two different spaces, and I ended up having to consolidate and figure out how do I the most effective way to do this. And I realized the spaces that I had were more so maker spaces, meaning it was a studio space, but I wanted something that was more brick and mortar, more storefront space. And it really was not conducive to what I really wanted. Like I needed something with more foot traffic, more straight off the street traffic. So now it's a process of me thinking about those things. The workshops that I've been doing with in partnership with the Black Arts District has been giving our artists and our entrepreneurs alike, our businesses, our communities, that type of education. We literally are going into our third year with our partnership. And this year we have added the Black Ass Flea Market brand to our partnership team, and I can't wait to see what we have in store. The first one will be March the 19th. Tuesdays, the third Tuesdays of every month at 6 p.m. The information for that will be up shortly. I'll put a flyer out for that one. But come on out Every month is a different theme in terms of the workshop. There's a networking component, and we want people to have fun and learn and grow and network with each other. And ultimately, for me, I'm here to support people and kind of ironing out some of those things that they're struggling with, whether it be helping you find the resources for that or connecting you with the right workshop for you to be able to take part in. The first workshop will actually be with Mama Jackie Terry, the writer extraordinaire from Baltimore, and she'll be doing her workshop there, and teaching us the best practices in writing, telling our story. Often, many of us, we use social media as our marketing tool, but some of our posts don't always equal up to enticing individuals. So we want to get our writing game up, and we'll be actually writing out our artist statements for that day. So I'm really excited to have Mama Jackie to start us off for our third year. And every month we'll be going up into October. So from March to October. And then at the end of the year, there's a big artist fair that will be happening um, there. We want you live in a building because we do a special giveaway for the people who attend. We give away micro grants, 2 grants to individuals to produce something, preferably in the Black Arts District. And if you don't know where that is, it's along the Pennsylvania Avenue corridor. And it is a budding art. It was one of the latest arts districts here in Baltimore City, and we are really excited about promoting it and pushing it. And I've been a partner of theirs for the last 2 years, and this is going into the third year that I've been working with them. And I'm really this year. I feel like we have a bigger budget. We want to reach more people. We want to do more in a community, and I am pushing that aspect for this workshop series with them. If you are a facilitator, reach out to me, connect with me. We have slots for facilitators to produce workshops for the community during the series. And I'll also be doing workshops outside of that event as well. So I'm really excited about that. So I told you about the workshops, more information. So if you follow any of my pages, you'll see the information on that. And I'll make sure to put the link in the description section as well. I told you about the Young Jeezy book that I've started reading. I told you a little bit about Soulmates. Get your tickets now. May 24th is gonna be a party. We have a DJ coming. I have some goodies, assembling of a number of businesses and organizations to help push it and promote their businesses. So they'll be there that night. That night is basically packed, and we have some tickets for sale. So if you want me to send you some tickets, hit me up. The link and all the information actually will be in the description section as well. So, in saying that, what else did I do this weekend? So Saturday was really packed. After I did the workshop, and then we went to go see Young Jeezy. He was in the library as well, and the workshop was at the library as well. Um, I spent some time speaking with a Mr. Peter Brooks. If you don't know who Peter Brooks is, he's the grandson of Cab Calloway, and he has a girth of knowledge and information that he is always sending me and supporting me in everything that I'm doing as well. So I got to have a great lunch with him. Um, and we talked about some future projects that we want to do in terms of interviewing a number of individuals from the Baltimore City and packaging it into a program. Following that meeting, I got to spend some time at Jazzy Studios. If you see, I posted a couple photos, the photos that you see in the background. Is it this way? So this photo right here was taken by Sharon Nixon of Baltimore Fashion, the founder of Baltimore Fashion Week, and we were hanging out with Jeff and his lovely wife at their awesome, well-known studio, Jazzy Studios, that's located in the Motor House right down in Station North Arts District. And I got to take some really great photos and um, be with this talking art, talking business, talking future projects with him and Sharon Nixon. And that was a great night. And I ended the night um, at a house party. It was a house house music party. And I think it's called. Mm, I forgot the name of it. It was right on Charles Street, across from the Charles Theater, and it was called. Ooh, I should know the name of it, but I was celebrating with a friend's four friend's birthday. And I love house music. I love sitting in the club. I'm not the party animal like I used to be, but I love sitting in the club, just spectating and watching and listening to I think it was called Deep Sugar. Yeah, it's Deep Sugar. So I don't know if they're there every night, but I know Fridays and Saturdays they're there. So it was great. I love house music, and I was there with a couple friends celebrating. And then yesterday, I worked on some art projects and came up with some good ideas as I move towards what's next and what will become um, the project. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also still working on a book, and working on the media at the same time. So the book, the radio, the Art Exchange Media Hub, and if you don't know, that is a channel where you can go to our YouTube page, and I think it's up here, the Artist Exchange Media Hub, on YouTube, and see all of the shows that we do. And it's really exciting to be in a space where I can create. And it's been a long time coming. And it's not like I went away, but I have been consistently working on projects. And I'm just excited. I'm just excited about where things are going. I'm in a different phase of my life. I talked about doing doing the show on May 24th, but I'm 40 now, and that hit me like a ton of bricks. And it really was. I didn't quite get into a depression last year, but it was really hard, um, celebrating my 40th year. And fortunately, I have a cousin, and we are born on the same exact day, so we get to celebrate. We got to celebrate our 40th year together, and that was great for me. I've been kind of distant as an artist in the last year or so. Um, well, more than a year, the last like 5 or 6 years, because I needed to really configure my life. Um, if you follow my Facebook page, my main profile page, you see I post a lot of comments or a lot of questions or a lot of content that is surrounding just certain things that I've experienced. A lot of it, for the people who have to message me in my inbox, a lot of the stuff is not stuff that I'm currently going through, but it's problems that I see that I've experienced in the past, when are not so far past. And it's things that I'm working through, and I'm now rebuilding life for myself in this new decade, in this new phase of my life, and my new phase of creativity. And I just see things a lot differently. And it's interesting to have experienced things this way, because I don't often get to I don't choose, even though I've done radio for over 10 years now, I don't always choose to come to radio with my problems. But I'm realizing that there are other people that are going through similar things. I think one of the last posts that I posted is about being that difficult person, being perceived as the difficult person in our workplaces. And as an artist and an entrepreneur, you know the struggle of um, balancing a 9 to 5 work life with your own creativity. And because of that, it is very difficult to continuously maintain um, a space for yourself, a space of balance within that balance, and just a space at work. And often we see things differently as creatives, and when we speak out on them, you instantly become the negative person or the difficult person. And I've spoken to many of my friends about that. And some people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to become the negative person, or they don't want to be associated with the people who are the negative, quote unquote, negative person. But I don't think sharing your story is negative. I don't think you should be considered negative simply because you have a space, and we should be better. community. We should be better friends. We should be better family. We should be better support systems in general when people are going through things in life, and not simply um, pushing people away, or while we're in pursuit of our bags, acting like these problems don't exist. Prime example with what's her name? Cookie from Empire, Taraji P. Henson, Monique, Viola Davis. A number of people in Hollywood have been talking about pay gaps, and how non-black people get paid a lot more than black people, and that's for men and women. And how we're treated, as artists. We often are the entertainment. We're often, the bonus. We all are often the extra credit added to things, and our value isn't always respected. And that starts with the individual. That starts with self. If you don't value your own creativity, it's very hard for others to see you. It's very sorry. I was trying to make sure my screen didn't time out. It's very hard for other people to really see your value if you don't honor that. Now, I can take this fee that doesn't equate to my value, because ultimately my value is priceless. I am priceless. You cannot put a number on what my value is. You can pay me an amount that I agree to, but just understand that that's not always my value. So we have to be smarter in those instances where we are accepting a payment for something. And sometimes you can work for free, you can volunteer, you can give your services, you can barter, but making it clear that this is not my value, and because I've agreed to this, is actually in support of you and not to dictate my value. Because people get us twisted, and they play in our faces a lot as black artists and artists of color all the time. Um, I don't know how much of this I should say. So I'll say, working within the nonprofit sector, or the educational field, or the arts in general, I've faced a lot of people who are going along to get along. And as I've gotten older, I can no longer play that role. And I keep a lot more to myself now. I don't express as much as I should, but I have, for a long time, I did not want to be the negative person. And that happened. And not so much the negative part, but me speaking up, because I don't see me seeing a problem and speaking out for it. I don't see that as a negative thing. Some people do. Some people don't care that you are there to be a voice. They want you to just shut up, especially as artists. They want us to shut up and just do what they tell us to do. And it's a thing I just read about. The guy was like, people want you to be yourself. They tell you, be yourself, be yourself. Ooh, I love it. Be yourself. Ooh, but not like that. So we are restricted in even being ourselves. They hire us for especially as artists, they hire us for our colorfulness. They want us to make this black and white world so colorful and so digestible and so loving and so open and so pretty, but they don't want who we are that goes along with that. And who we are is often, um, mm, who we are is often truth tellers. And a lot of people right now, they don't really respect Monique, but I don't see the messenger. Monique's human. She's flawed like all the rest of us. Um, she may have done things in her past that people don't respect, they don't like, but the message is still the same. I'm also following this documentary out on um, Wendy Williams. And a lot of what Wendy Williams' career has been built on is telling the truth. Wendy would have been shut down years ago if what she was saying was a lie. But the problem people had with her is she was telling the truth about people. Was it her truth to tell? Probably not. But it was truth that she was speaking to. And there was a lot of people who were in spaces of power or doing things that now, you know, a lot of what she said was coming to be. But as people who are in those spaces, if you are a self-proclaimed truth teller, um, you may have found it hard and a struggle to be in the environments that you are in. And I want to hear from you. If you have an opinion on any of this, please chime in. Feel free to chime in with your comments or your questions, even if you don't believe in what I'm saying. Give me your opinion. I love to hear it. Um, but today I decided that on Mondays I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna do a short show and really speak to what's going on, what I've done, talk about some things that are coming up. I'm really excited about Soulmates to Play. I'm very excited about my involvement in it and just seeing creativity unfold. I'm very proud of Troy Burton for stepping out there and jumping out there on his creativity because he could just have enjoyed um, his elder life, uh, his life as a retired artist, but he still pushes, he still works, he still creates, he still collaborates. He's not untouchable in a space where you can't talk to him or collaborate with him. And I'm meeting more people, and I begin to ask for, in my prayers to send me and surround me with people who get me, who respect what I do, who respect the things that I have to say, who don't steal ideas, who are a part of um, the fabric of our world and our artist life, that are about their business, that ain't taking nothing off of anybody, but they're also in a space of just producing and creating work that speaks to who we are. I no longer want to do work for the sake of doing it or simply for the sake of paychecks. Money controls a lot more than what it should, and money is not a bad thing. What people choose to do with it ultimately is bad. But I want to be in a space and I want to be surrounded by people who get that, who aren't chasing dollars, who are creating for the sake of creating, who are also about their business, who's also about community, who's also about self-preservation and creating safe spaces and harmonious spaces that are um, about us. I am also working on a project called Him. It's called the He Investment Movement. And it is a number of interviews that I am currently doing with individuals from the Baltimore City area and beyond, surrounding issues that affect Black men, not men of color, not the not minority, but Black men specifically. As a Black man who has navigated this world, um, in spaces where I am often um, told who I can't be, what my limitations are, what my restrictions are, or just outright ignored. I wanted to speak to some of the issues that that's currently affecting us in spaces that we should be safe um, in our families, in our friend circles, in our communities, at work. These should be safe spaces for us. But I'm hearing so much conflicting information about who Black men are, and it's often sometimes it's from other Black men, but most times it's from people who are not Black men. And I'm one of them people that um, I believe I was given this um, push to figure out ways to support Black men. I support my community all the time. I support many social issues that affect us as a world, as a country. But I think my vision in life and my purpose and my intention is in the space of what can I do to help other and my fellow Black men out as I begin to heal through myself. Actually, during the pandemic, I called together a circle of men. It was three other men that I included in this conversation. And I'll speak more on that because I want to bring all of them together and have a public conversation about that. But I'll speak a little bit to my purpose behind it. Um, I grew up around strong, hardworking, creative, intelligent, forceful Black women. And that was a blessing in my life. It has been a blessing in my life, and it has made me the Black man I am today. But what wasn't present was Black men. And there's a poem that I wrote a long time ago, and I say, I always had the woman's perspective, but the male perspective was never consistent. It was always here today, gone tomorrow, or it was the wrong type of information that was being pushed in my direction. And I really had to grow up in that. And as an adult male, it has taken me my entire adult life, the last 20 some years, to really um, reconfigure a lot of that information that I got and figure out how to best use it for my betterment, and not simply to uh, not to feed into a lot of the negative stereotypes about who I could have been. And I've realized people love Black men's presence, but they often don't want the Black man that's attached to that presence. I just saw I think Nick Cannon and Iyanla Van Zant are doing this collaboration on his podcast I think it's called, I forgot the name of it, but they have been having these conversations surrounding men. And Iyanla said men have been restricted to doers. Our necessity in our world has been shrunken down to, and our validity and our value has been shrunken down to what we can do for you and how much we can do for you and how much money we can make doing it for you. And it's all about us pouring out. But if you look at that ideal, us pouring out, eventually you're going to be empty if nothing else is being poured in to who you are. And I believe Black men have a story and we have a need in terms of what our personal needs are, in terms of what we need to receive, as well as our needs to what we give out to the world. And I'm just noticing, because I work in a school system, I purposely begin to work with the younger children, because I wanted to know where these issues started from. And you see young people in preschool and kindergarten already showing signs of depression, or showing signs of rebellion, or showing signs of this not so great foundations, um, already at their ages. Um, I went into teaching with imagination, and I feel like parts of my imaginations have been absorbed and taken because I was giving so much of that to young people. Because probably I first started being a teaching artist at the age of, I think I was like 22, 23. And by the time I was probably, before I was 30, way before I was 30, I realized that these children are missing imagination. They don't know how to believe. They don't know how to dream. And this is a blanket statement that I'm making, but it's true for the majority and not the minority of students. And some of these students who are avoiding it, is not that they necessarily come from bad homes. It's more so because they are coming from places where parents are having to work, or there's only one parent in the home, or there's no parents in the home. They are in certain programs, and you find these children being weakened by their circumstances, and nobody deeming it important to pour into them. Now, you would say, well, all the school systems have initiatives, and there's all these programs in school now, but many of those programs are attached to nonprofits or individuals who care more about funders and what their needs for information are than the children who the money was given to in the first place. So you have a lot of programs that are simply paying people salaries over doing actual positive things for students. And these are blanket statements because the teachers are working as hard as they can, the teaching artists, the enrichment programs, administrators. There are many of them who are doing the right things, but because the team, the village, the communities, the parents, and that ultimately the students they stop caring. So, and my frustration with working with a lot of these programs is that they don't, at the end of the day, they talk about a bunch of numbers, they talk about a bunch of statistics, but none of them equal up to being present in the classroom with the child. A lot of those programs are support the teacher, but what about the student? What is the student getting at the end of the day? I'm really nervous because You are in classrooms with students who still, I don't care how high they get up, can't read. You have a number of students, and I'm going to research the statistics to understand, but you have a number of schools that offer remedial classes because people are coming to college right out of high school that don't read well, that don't know math good enough. And it's a problem. Even for me, I'm realizing how much I stopped actually reading because I started buying the audibles of books. So it was important for me to get the book so I could actually read. And I have tons of books, but I stopped reading as much because it was just absorbing my mind to um, watch it on a film of it or find a documentary. So I'm listening more, I'm still retaining information, but reading does something different to a person. And it's not enough um, complete emphasis on that with our young people. So I wanted to get on today just for a short time and just talk about some things that I wanted to do and just get into the body of getting on here every Monday and just telling you what's coming up for me, for the art community. Um, I've gotten back to the swing of myself. Saturday felt like the old 20 something Nick that was going from this thing to that thing and doing as much as I could in my communities. But I miss that energy that I had. And I'm learning how to preserve a lot of it so I can have the energy and stamina to be able to do all those things. But last week in general showed me, I really I am that person, and I don't have to shrink myself or shape shift myself into a digestible form of me, for others, for other people, to be able to deal with. I will no longer dim my light to brighten someone else's. Um, if we all can't be charged up and we all can't be our fullest extent, I don't want to be in that environment. I don't want to be a part of that production. I don't want to be in that friend circle. I don't want to be connected to that individual. If we can't find a way for both of us to leave this charged up, it's for nothing. And we have a lot of people who are willing to take, but they're slow to give, slow to plant a seed in that space where they just um, harvested a resource. So for me, it's about looking at what I'm doing and pushing through with the projects and really taking my time to plan and persevere and plan for success. And that's where I'm at. That's what I want to get on and talk about. So again, on March the 19th, we'll be hosting our first in a series of workshops in partnership with myself, as well as the Black as Flea Market brand, and most importantly, the Black Arts District, going into our third year of workshops and a networking series that we do that really is about giving you all the resources. If we just give you money, or if you just get money, or we just receive money, that helps. Money helps. But if you don't know what you're doing with the money, if you don't know what your weak spots are, that money is just going to find a way to kind of pour out, through the hole in the bucket. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to have to keep starting over and refreshing themselves. So um, that's what, if you see a workshop that I am in support of, that I'm pushing out there, that I'm a part of, that I'm putting together, take heed to it because it's really to help you for your better good. Um, Look out for some updates and events from me. If you follow us on Facebook, you can follow my page. We have the Artist Exchange podcast page, and the Artist Exchange is actually back this month too. So I'll be live every Wednesday at either an event or on the show interviewing someone. We also have the HIM series, He Investment Movement, that I'll be seeking individuals from. So if you know any Black men from the ages of 16 to 199, send them my way. I'm interested in talking to them about who they are and what their story is and what their perspective is. And I asked them a number of questions, and we go through, and you'll see the result of that. We're planning a project to capsule all of that information that we're getting from men, and it will be in a book form, and there will be some type of either art performance or visual art performance or some type of theatrical performance that is attached to these stories. So more information will be posted about it. It will have its own social media page and live there. So you'll see the progress of what we're doing. I'll send little clips of the interviews that we do, so you'll be able to see them. Some of the interviews are virtual, some of them will be in person. So I'm definitely working hard on that project. What else do I have coming up? Bash Shop Blue Jewelry. I will be at the Black Ass Flea Markets there, the Juke event that they do once a month at our house. I'll be there. I believe that one is the 17th of this month. So yeah, the 17th of this month I'll be there. The 19th, that next Tuesday, I'll be at the network series. So follow my social media. You'll see the flyers on that. We're on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. Twitter, I'm learning to boost that up, but we also have a Twitter page, the Artist Exchange Media Hub. So follow us, support us, and that's all that. So again, get them tickets to Soulmates. And this has been the Artist Exchange Media Hub. And every Monday, it'll be me talking, or I'm trying to bring on somebody just to promote what they're doing as well. So look forward to that. So peace out, people. Have a great rest of your week. And yeah, find us, follow us, and support us. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Nate Couser, owner of the Artist Exchange Media Hub, as well as Vashti Blue Jewelry Studio, sponsoring a night out at the theater with Soulmates, written, directed, and conceived by Troy Burton, as well as musical direction by Mr. Tevin Brown himself. Come on out and celebrate with us. Tickets are now on sale. It's my 41st birthday, and I want to celebrate it with you. Hit me up for tickets. See you there.